the planet. Now this puts pressure on the tectonic plates and forces up the magma against the tectonic plates. This is where the heat is coming from that we've been having a bit of lately. The heat is due not to man's burning of fossil fuels. That's rubbish. The heat is due to the rising magma of the Earth due to the centrifugal force as it accompanies the sun around the spiral, around the spiral arm of this group of stars. And because of this, it causes the magma to rise, press against the plates, which is producing the heat from the rising magma, and the pressure against the plates is causing earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, and God knows what altogether. And this is why we are getting the disasters we are now just starting to get. They will get worse and worse over the next few years until they destroy just about all life upon this planet. And believe me, it would be better to have died than to live in icy caves afterwards, without computers and such like, right? So I'm saying to you that I'm explaining to you why we're getting these disasters and why these disasters are going to get worse and worse over the next 2 years. Then after that they start getting easier. But that'll be enough to destroy just about everything on the planet. I'm just explaining to you why it is. It's due to the centrifugal force, because the sun in an ellipse is the star going around the spiral arm of this group of stars that I have discovered. Anyway, as far as you can say, it's going around the closing spiral. And it does this every 6,500 years. And when it does so, it just about destroys all life forms on this planet and the continent that it is upon, which sinks into the sea and the magma, and just about everything is destroyed. Now, in addition, but the point I'm trying to make is that I can save you all from this because I know the ways of escape. Very, very quickly, I'll get down the North Geographical Pole. The geographical pole, the Earth is hollow, you see. The geographical pole is the entrance to a tubeway leading down into the hollow Earth. If you get down there, you will find you'll be able to live even better than you did on the surface. But because of the 300 miles, it's either 800 or 300 mile crust. I think it's 800 miles crust of the Earth. That's right, the tubeway is 300 miles long. And the crust of the Earth is 800 miles thick, and that will protect you from anything like boulders falling down from above as the sun goes around the spiral arm. So you'll be safer down there, although there are their own dangers down there. I want to get back to the other point, so that was just a digression to explain to you how to escape what is coming. Get down there, because it's coming up. You've only got 2 years to go. We'll have catastrophes before that date, but the peak of it reaches in 2 years' time. So for God's sake, get down as quickly as you can. Down through the North Geographical Pole, you'll find there's a hole there, and it's the entrance to a tubeway leading to the inner Earth, which because the Earth is hollow. But that's not the only thing that's coming up. And I'll try to quickly explain to you, as I remember these points. First of all, there's a planet called Phaeton. It's the core of the planet Phaeton, which originally orbited between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter around the Sun. But there was a disastrous thermonuclear explosion on that planet, which blew the surface off, which, by the way, created via the rocks, bits of the surface are called asteroids now, and the seawater, masses of which flew out to sea, blew off, are called comets. This is where many of our asteroids and comets come from. But the point is that planet Phaeton was blown onto an irregular orbit, which blew it past the orbit of Mars, and it hit the Earth, I believe. I'm not sure. A glancing blow which created our moon. But anyway, this planet Phaeton, which is the core of the planet, whose surface blew off, is on an orbit it's on a periodical orbit around the sun, and it'll come back, and it's coming back now, and you can even see it. If you look at the sun, you'll see a black spot, or you should do. It was there. You look through special filters, of course. For God's sake, be careful, because you go blind if you look at the sun too long, or even at all. So wear special filters, dark smoke glasses, and that sort of thing, to see this object, which is called the Phaetons, which is a planet core. It's slightly smaller than Mars, okay? And you can see a black spot silhouetted against the sun. If you look closely at the sun, and this is coming closer and closer to us, and should arrive about 2015, and it should pass about 1 million miles away from planet Earth, and the gravity and magnetic tidal forces from it will just about tear this planet in half. Now, you may have heard of the planet Nibiru, N-I-B-U-R-U. That's another one, which I believe is now approaching, if not has entered, the outer part of our solar system. There should be no worry from that, provided it enters the outer part and not the inner part. Otherwise we'll have that to contend with as well. But that's not due, Nibiru, the planet Nibiru, which is about the size of Saturn, until the year 2078, I think it is, AD, 2078 AD. But there could be some problems from it also. Now, what will happen is that the Earth will invert, physically invert, not just the magnetic force. The Earth will physically invert. The north and south poles will change places. Now, either that will happen, or it's possible that the Earth will only fall upon its side, in which case it is a disaster will be even worse, because the poles will then go to places like, I'm only guessing, India and Peru, for example, will then become the new poles. So that all that ice will melt, cause havoc. And new ice will form in India, if it does go to India, I'm only guessing, and Peru, the South Pole, new ice will form there. So that will be quite disastrous, as you may imagine. So what will happen is first we'll have an ice era, followed by an ice age. So what is coming up after this global heat is global cooling, followed by ice era.